What happens when love, well, when it goes a little too far, when it actually starts to make someone sick? That's the heart of this fantastic story by James Herriot. We're talking about a super pampered dog, his totally devoted owner, and a cure that, as you're going to find out, has nothing, and I mean nothing, to do with actual medicine.
Okay, so let's meet our patient, Tricky. And wow, this description says it all, doesn't it? He's a bloated sausage with a leg at each corner. I mean, you can just picture it. You hear that and you know, okay, this little guy is in serious trouble. He is clearly not a happy camper. But the big question is, why? What's going on here?
Right, so what's the official diagnosis for poor Tricky? Well, this is where things get interesting. This is the main problem in the story, really, because his owner and his vet, they have two completely different theories about what's wrong.
And this is the disconnect, right here. On one side, you've got his owner, Mrs. Pumphrey. She sees her little dog looking all sluggish and thinks, oh, the poor thing, he must be suffering from malnutrition. So her solution, coming from a place of love, is, you guessed it, more food. But then you have the vet, Mr. Herriot, who looks at Tricky and sees the real problem. Tricky isn't starving at all. He's literally being smothered with food. The vet says his only fault was greed. He just couldn't say no.
Now let me tell you, when Mrs. Pumphrey talks about little extras, she is not kidding around. Get this, on top of his regular meals, Tricky was also getting malt, cod liver oil, a bowl of Horlicks before bed, and her personal favorites, cream cakes and chocolates. She even admits it, she just can't say no to him. So yeah, this is not malnutrition. This is a 5-star buffet for a dog that should be eating kibble.
So, the vet, Mr. Herriot, he tries to be reasonable. He tells her, you have to cut back on the food, and he needs more exercise. But she just can't do it. It's too hard for her. And so, as you can probably guess, things don't get better. They get much, much worse. And that's when it becomes clear that a more drastic solution is needed.
And sure enough, just like he predicted, the vet gets the call. It's Mrs. Pumphrey. Tricky has hit a wall. He's not eating anything at all. He's having bouts of vomiting. He just lies there. His poor little system is completely overloaded.
Okay, so this is the turning point. Mr. Herriot knows he has to act. He lays it out. Tricky needs to be hospitalized. He has to come to the vet surgery for 2 weeks under observation. Now, for Mrs. Pumphrey, this is just the worst news imaginable. She's absolutely convinced that he'll pine away and die without her. But the vet knows this is the only way. He has to be firm, he has to take Tricky out of that environment, which, even though it was loving, was also kind of toxic for him.
All right, so Tricky's at the vet's office. And you're probably thinking, okay, here come the IVs, the medicine, the special treatments, right? But what happens next is actually the brilliant and surprisingly simple heart of this whole story. The cure starts right away. For the first 2 days, Herriot gives Tricky nothing. No food, just plenty of water. That's it. He just lies there. But then, on day 3, something changes. There's a little whimper, a little spark of interest. And by the next day, he's not just moving, he's in with the pack of other dogs, actually jostling for his own bowl of food. He's starting to remember how to just be a dog.
And this is the genius of it. Seriously. There was absolutely no medicinal treatment, no pills, no shots, no surgery. The cure was simply taking away all the stuff that was making him sick in the first place. Sometimes the best treatment is no treatment at all.
So, instead of medicine, what did Tricky get? He got a new life. He was running around all day with the other dogs, getting into friendly little scraps, discovering the simple joy of just playing. He was fighting for his food like a little tiger, and even hunting rats in an old henhouse at night. I mean, he was finally doing all the things a normal, healthy dog is supposed to do, things he never had a chance to experience before. He wasn't a patient anymore. He was part of the pack.
So fast forward 2 weeks. After all this, the results are, well, they're pretty incredible. The transformation is so huge you'd barely even recognize them as the same dog.
I mean, let's just quickly remember where we started, right? A bloated sausage, couldn't move, looked miserable. That was Tricky just a fortnight ago. And now he's this sleek, muscular little animal, just bounding along with the other dogs. It's an incredible physical change, but you can tell it's more than that. His whole spirit is back. This is what happens when common sense wins the day.
But here's a hilarious little side note to this whole thing. While Tricky's on his new, simple diet, Mrs. Pumphrey is at home worried sick. So what does she do? She starts sending care packages to the vet's office. We're talking dozens of fresh eggs, bottles of wine to enrich his blood, even brandy. Of course, Tricky wasn't getting any of this.
So Mr. Harriet and his partners, well, let's just say they had a couple of really great weeks, enjoying all these luxuries, all in the name of Tricky's recovery, of course.
Well, all good things and all those free eggs and brandy have to come to an end. The vet knows Mrs. Pumphrey is missing her dog terribly, so he makes the call. It's time for her to come pick Tricky up. And this is where we get to the story's fantastic, ironic ending.
So she shows up, sees her completely transformed dog, and as she's leaving, she looks at Mr. Harriet with tears in her eyes and says this amazing line. "Oh, Mr. Harriet, this is a triumph of surgery." She genuinely believes he performed some kind of major operation to save Tricky.
And that really brings us to the core of the story, doesn't it? The irony is just perfect. She's calling it a triumph of surgery, but what surgery? What did the vet actually do?
The answer, of course, is nothing medical. Not a thing. The real triumph here wasn't about scalpels or medicine. It was the triumph of good old-fashioned common sense. It was about diet, exercise, and a healthy environment. It was about simply taking away the problem and letting Tricky's own body and his doggy spirit do the healing. It really makes you think, doesn't it? How often is the simplest, most obvious solution hiding in plain sight?